Michael Brooks, Kenny makes everyone look worse, offense and defense.
Now, that's an over-exaggeration. Did he have moments where it wasn't ideal? Sure. Deke said it though, man. Everybody has those moments, right? I think
Everyone does.
the big thing is this. Everybody has the moments. The only reason why you might feel one way or the other today is because of the expectations that y'all either set for him pre versus post game, right? Some people think he's gonna come out there and light it up. Other people think he's gonna come out there and stink it up. No different than Matt Canada. I mean, there's people out there with literally while we're doing the pre-game interview with Charlie Bass. Shout out to Charlie. Lady comes in with the Fire Canada shirt. Calls her. He's like, bro, how you gonna say Fire Canada? We ain't even seen nothing yet. You see what he looked like yesterday. You wouldn't be hollering no Fire Canada with that. You'd be like, yo, Canada, you look good out there.
He's bought himself time.
So same thing with Kenny. It's like, man, if you come in with these very extreme expectations, yeah, you gonna feel like, yo, he make everybody look worse, or he sucks, or he's this, or he's that. But if you just take him for what he is right now, that's not the perception, man. You're like, yo, this is a young quarterback that's figuring it out. He's starting to get it going. He's understanding adversity. And with his adversity, it doesn't always come in the same form. For Will Levis, his adversity was you started fast. Now, it got kind of weird at the end. You really got to put together a drive here, which he was doing, right? But at the end, ultimately, had the turnover. For Kenny, what's his adversity? You miss some throws early. This is after you have the big excitement of that opening drive touchdown. How do you respond? All right, we got to put together a drive at the end. We got to get together something going real quick. Make some throws. So that was how he handled his adversity. So everybody's going to have these type of things. And sometimes it's going to be early in the game, sometimes late in the game, sometimes in the middle of the game. But the beautiful thing for Kenny is he continues to pass these tests in the form of wins and losses. And that's always been the theme. Even when y'all said we was terrible and we was like, yo, we still sitting at, was it 3-2? Now we're sitting at 4-2. Now we're sitting at 4-3. Now we're sitting at 5-3. I get it. But through all of the chaos, through all of the ugliness and the inconsistency across the board at different spots, George Pickens included, right? Because he had a little bonehead moment where literally it's just like, yo, that's lackadaisical. You get your two toes down, man. You're way elite. Like, your standard is way past, can you get that in there?
Seen him do so much harder.
So just once again, though, just to show you, everybody's going to have moments. It's just we are hyper-focused on the quarterback right now because that's the way we're conditioned to be. But as a whole, man, I don't think that he makes everyone look worse. Because if you say he makes everyone look worse, you also got to say he makes everybody look better. Because when he is playing well and he is making those throws, we do see how the team responds. So, like I said, man, I don't think it's an extreme one way or the other. But I think he's getting where we need him to be.
Let me put it this way. To me at this point, I forget expectations, forget all of that. How valuable is it to you when things aren't going well and the game can be close? Our quarterback's going to come up in the fourth quarter. Like, we have that belief that, like, no matter how this game's going, no matter how bad it is, you see it from those guys. You see it from, like, the elite guys. Tom Brady, Burrow, Ben, Roger. Like, they could have a terrible 3 quarters. They could have a terrible first half, missing throws. It's like, this ain't good. But if we keep this within 10, we keep this within 2 scores. All right, he's going to show up. And that's the type of stuff that Pickett is showing. Again, it goes back to what you said. Do you want both? Yeah, of course you want both. And I think we'll get that from Kenny. But he's showing that stuff, and that's I don't think you take that lightly. I think Steeler fans are overlooking that right now, or a decent portion of them.
So I look at it like this. I think this is why when you hear former players or players talk and we say it is a team game, this is what we're speaking on. Because the messaging just comes off as mixed message at time when we'll throw almost 100% praise on the quarterback when everything looks good. We're like, yo, it's exclusively no. You're part of it.
I'm not giving it 100%. Yeah. No, the defense played good. It was a team thing. But the guy to lead the charge, be around.
Let me just go. Yeah. So the thing is this though. The reason when we talk about it being a team game is because, like you said, right? He can't get to the fourth quarter if special teams, defense isn't doing everything, right, to make sure that he gets these opportunities. But the problem is we'll take that one fourth quarter opportunity and we'll say that that's more than everything else that transpired. That's what players be feeling at times. But as a whole, it's like, man, we also know this is why we say it's a team sport. And why I personally don't always put wins and losses on quarterbacks because, like you just said, right? A quarterback can either start hot and his defense can fail him late, and we're going to look at that quarterback and say he choked. Or that quarterback can start super slow, get hot at the end, and we're going to be like, yo, he's great because he closed the game out right. Don't mean that either one is 100% right or wrong, but that is just the perception around it because of the position. But as a whole, this is football. It's a team sport. Everybody's going to have them phases. It's going to be some games where Kenny eventually is going to be the one carrying us maybe in the first 2 quarters. And then it's going to be a game where it's like, yo, defense, offense then wet the bed in the fourth. We can't get a drive. Defense, you got to make plays. That doesn't minimize Kenny. That doesn't mean Kenny is choked in that moment. It just means that the game flipped. It's no different than when it starts like how it was yesterday. And it's like, all right, we ain't getting it like how we want early on. All right, but we finish it the way we're supposed to finish it. As long as we are picking each other up and it's equating wins, that's what the team is for. We are not built on just one player. This is not basketball, you know what I mean? Basketball, you get away, man, you're one player, he's just better than everybody else, you can win with that. Here, everybody got to play well. And we did. Yesterday we did, man.
NFL football, big team sport, big team game.
Yeah.
I'm just taking
Mahomes, you talk Brady, whether it was in Tampa 100%. Or in New England.
Yeah, you have a shitty line.
Yeah, like, it was team.
You're going to look a lot less than what you typically are. I'll go back to Bradshaw's comment, though, a couple weeks ago. He was talking about Kenny, he doesn't have the most touchdowns right now, but don't worry, those will come. He is the quarterback, though, that this team needs right now. And I think he is the quarterback for this team in the future. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying right now. The way we're trying to play ball, Kenny is doing, going back to that Tomlin comment back in preseason and the offseason, Kenny needs to be what we need him to be. And that's what he's doing right now. Like, I think he's the leader that this team needs, a quarterback.
Different than what the normal perception is in today's NFL. It's different than that. But if you understand the lens of how you're supposed to be looking at this thing, you're not going to be feeling like, yo, we can't or he's not. You're like, no, this is exactly what we need right now.
Think of it as the early Ben formula, those early Ben teams formula, 04, 05.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way, like that's how we're trying to win, then, yeah, you should love what you've been seeing, at least since the bye week.
The problem was we transitioned from the 14, 15, 16, 17 era of 7, where that was like the gaudy big number. So for them, that transition is like, hell, how do we go from this back to that? And
those
it's like,
defenses weren't good.
Just think as a whole, though, 7 at that stage is different than 7 in year 1 and year 2. So as a whole, everything naturally changes. Why does the defense not get so good? Because you put all your money on the quarterback once he's proven.
Yeah, now we have money allocated to the defense. We got young players on offense. Yeah.
But you got to get to that phase. You can't pay the quarterback if he ain't proven it. Then prove that he was worth of that. So when you get to that, now the thing is, yo, you got to be elite the whole time and pick it up around the corners, man. We ain't built like that right now. We built to Kenny don't kill us.
And I do think there's still untapped potential for this offense, though, too. Like
we still see we missing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we could keep playing like this and win, but holy. Like,
it's not just explosive elements.
With Deontay being back,
it's
and then
quick
Farmer's
strike.
not even being out there yet.
It's almost quick strike potential with this thing. You think about the DJ throw last week where DJ drops it. You think about the Calvin Austin throw this week where, Kenny missed it. And it's like, man, those are 2 explosive touchdown opportunities early on in the game. Aggressive calls. Literally first play of the game last week. And was it the top 6 play call this week? It was early in the game we called that. In terms of the Calvin Austin running the street.
I thought it was like middle of the game.
I thought it was earlier than that. Because I remember we called it like first play last week with DJ. We definitely called it like first half, I felt like.
I think it was first half.
Yeah, it was the first half.
I think you're right.
But it was just like, yo, I'm loving that we are identifying when we're going to get Tampa 2. And we're finally getting the matchups that people always criticize our defense for. Wide receivers on linebackers. We said, man, it's not just a Pittsburgh thing. It's the
It wasn't bad coverage by Holcomb. It wasn't terrible. It's just he's a linebacker. And Levis made a good throw. I'll give him props.
Bro, that's the hard part of that defense, man. You're going to get some opportunities like that where you're like, all right, you got to survive the down, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's literally that play. That's the one Holcomb got hurt on.
Yeah.